I want to know what KPIs you're using to measure success in your business. I'll share with you what we use. We use certain KPIs that measure the success of our operating business, our marketing side of our business, our client retention and customer service side of our business. Let's just jump right into the revenue side. Occupancy rates versus on-time tenant collections. A lot of people talk about the power of occupancy. I'm 90% occupied, 85% occupied, 100% occupied. Great. Love that statistic for you. My real question for you as the business owner, what is your percentage of on-time collections? We take money to the bank. We actually pay the liabilities and the utilities for people that are living in our houses without paying on time. So those are two very distinct differences in key performance indicators. You can have a high occupancy and you can have high rent collections. That's the ideal setting. But in reality, because we do affordable housing, there are people that are going to be behind in rent, sometimes lives. The KPI that I want you to be comfortable looking at and tracking is your occupancy rate percentage along with your on-time tenant collections. Those together, that signals success from the revenue management side. Now let's talk about customer service and tenure. Average revenue per room. That just talks about per room that you have that's an opportunity to make and generate revenue. How long are people staying in room 1, room 2, room 3, room 4, all the way up to however many rooms you have? You have to be able to look at that metric, KPI of average revenue per room. They call it RevPAR. They call it whatever you want to guys, acronym you want to use. But just think about it as average revenue per room. How much revenue a year does that one room generate? If you start looking at averages, you'll start recognizing some rooms are more successful than others. This is how we distill our next project in certain areas. Do we want to focus on having private bathrooms, bigger closets? What about that room is giving us information to make operational decisions? Average length of stay. This is your tenure number. Are you doing a good job meeting that customer's expectations? Are you doing a good job of providing good customer service? The more you can extend tenure, extend that average length of stay, that's where profitability comes for our co-living business. You have to remember, I view co-living like a colander with holes at the bottom of the bucket, big hole at the top of the bucket, more people that come in and living at the house. But if people are moving out and falling out of the bottom, you will never get to 100% of revenue, 100% of occupancy ever. So you have to be able to control that average length of stay in order to get to that high occupancy number. From a maintenance side perspective, what KPIs are you using to manage your property managers? What is the average length of vacancy? If you have 1 room, 10 rooms, it doesn't matter. How long is that room sitting vacant? What plan of actions does your property manager or do you as the self-operator implement in order to reduce the length of vacancy for that room? Vacancy is the quiet killer of any real estate business. Maintenance response time. This is how you can hold your property manager accountable for doing their job. If their job is to triage requests coming in for their maintenance requests, how fast before they get filled. On the monthly, you should be tracking all of your monthly utilities and break them down by each individual utility. Internet, gas, electric, water. You need to know month over month for predictive information, what's coming up in the next month. You have to be able to manage cash flow. And utilities takes up a large portion of that because in co-living, we cover utilities. For new houses, always a tip of the day. Make sure that you check the insulation in your attic and make sure that you have plenty of insulation to reduce your utility costs. We're about to get into the summer here in Atlanta. Electric bills go through the roof because that's what air conditioning runs on. If you don't have good insulation in the attic, your electric bills are going to go through the roof during the summer. Ultimately, at the end of the day, our entire business is focused on net operating income. This is it.